Back Glenfinnan today. Been here before on a video back before Christmas. The train should be running and coming by in about half an hour. I've split up from Sarah, who's with some friends. They're going to go and shoot the other side, but I figured I'm going to use it as an excuse to get out and try and do a thorough shoot on maybe some new locations. So put the tripod with me. I'm going to hike to an area I've not seen before, and let's see how we get on. We're going to go the different way, away from all the people, the normal spots. Let's go through the viaduct, have a look from the side. Only slight concern I've got today is that there is quite a strong wind blowing in this direction, the same way the train's going. That can ruin a lot of the smoke and steam that come from the engine as it's blown with the train. The best days I've seen here are when there's no wind at all. You know, the steam just hangs right above the tracks. Really impressive actually up close, really impressive. So what I'm thinking about doing is leaving one camera in one position with a lens on, doing a time lapse, then I can hike a bit further, get another angle. I'm wondering if one of those positions might be from the river just here. That could be nice. Let's go a bit further and find somewhere to really set the camera. This is looking a bit better, but I want to be in the water still. I feel I want to keep an eye on the time the whole day today. 20 past 10, so we've got about 20 minutes until I want to be fully set up and in position. If I can set one camera shot up from the river shooting, I might then try and go further, maybe on top of that mound, and shoot from there with a telephoto. I'm going to try and get across into the middle of the water here and set up the tripod. Let's see how that goes. That's looking quite nice. I think that might do nicely for our composition from here. You can see that on the screen. Nice water with the viaduct at the end. So I'm going to set the tripod up and then get ready for the intervalometer. Okay, so that took me a little bit longer than expected to get set up, but we're all good now. So, got my shutter set up. Let's zoom in and find our focus. Up here. There we go. Now I can switch to manual focus, so that's not doing anything. I'm going to turn on my intervalometer, and then in the menu, come down to my intervalometer settings, which I keep in the star menu. That star menu is really helpful for like organising the Sony menu systems, which aren't always the easiest to understand. In here, I'm going to set shooting time 5 minutes, because there's still 10 to 15 before the train comes, so this will just give a bit of a delay. I'm going to set the interval to 1 second, so 1 photo every second. Number of shots, oh, I don't even know. It does show our total recording time down here. So if I say we'll do 2000, that gives us half an hour. So with that, I should definitely be back here in time to turn it off before it stops rolling. Tracking we don't need. Second screen, silent shooting interval on. That one's quite important. Because I've essentially told the camera to take 2000 photos, I don't want it to really be doing that with the mechanical shutter, just because it's putting unnecessary strain and wear on my camera. So I'm going to leave it with silent shooting on, which means there is some rolling shutter effect. It's not quite as good an image, but it means I'm happy to leave this going, taking thousands of shots. I'm just going to double check a few things, double check my composition, and then shoot. And that's on standby now for 5 minutes. In 5 minutes, that's going to start taking photos, one every second. And then after 2,000 photos, it will stop. So now I need to go find somewhere to shoot with my other body. One camera set up and rolling. Got about just over 10 minutes for the train now. I'm gonna shoot up this hill, I think. See what it looks like from up there. The camera's set up going behind me. Let's hope it's still there when I get back and not stolen or in the river. It's real windy up here. Okay, so looking at the two different lenses I tried just then. Oh, that's spiky. Oh. So looking at the two different lenses I tried then, the 70-200 or the 200-600. At 200 it's still quite punched in, and I think I'm going to be best to shoot on the 70-200 for the majority of this. I may try and switch over halfway through. So I've set the 200-600 up in my bag here, ready to go. I've got the back caps loose already, and I know that the little dots for lining the body up with the lens are aligned, so I know where that dot is on there in case mid-shoot I decide I really want to switch quick, but I think I'll probably be okay. So from here I've got the view of the whole viaduct. I'm thinking shots straight down the middle or slightly to this side are probably going to be nicer, although the potential for one coming over the trees there is also quite nice. So now it's just a waiting game really. Just double checked all my settings. The wind. On the 7200 I'm shooting at 1/800 f4 and an ISO of 400. Now I'm aware that if I switch over to the 200-600 halfway through, that is a 5.6 to 6.3, and at the longer focal length much less light is going to be getting in there. So with the camera already on 1/800, I know the shutter speed is pretty much where I want it to be using that lens handheld. So what I'm going to be doing if I do switch over is just ramping up the ISO with the control dial until the exposure is nice, and I'll just have to deal with any noise that's going on there. I'm not going to have the time to react to try to balance it out and make it stable. I just have to deal with any noise and just try to be quick. Hope you're enjoying this low down angle, the nose shot. Just trying to keep you out the wind a little bit because it's a bit blowy. Really blowy. Any minute now. It's always really exciting whenever you shoot the train because you go through so much setup and preparation, and then it's literally over the viaduct in 15 seconds and your opportunity's gone, and you've got to get it all done in that one minute space of time, which is something rare when you're usually shooting in the outdoors. Probably didn't catch that, but just heard the whistle, so we're on. Well, that was massively underwhelming. So the train usually, hang on, let me get out the wind a little bit. Yeah, so that was a little underwhelming. Usually the train approaches and it has no steam, and you're always like, oh god, there's no steam, oh no, and then he basically, I guess the driver's sort of storing it up, and then as he comes across the bridge he just opens it up and just steam and smoke goes everywhere. But that time he seemed to not do it until he was already off the other end, so there was pretty much next to no steam going across. Oh well, we'll see what the shots are like. If they're not good, they're not good, but we might have found some interesting compositions we can check and come back and do in the future, so hopefully they work. I'll add them all at the end of the video anyway, just so we can have a bit of a look and see what the deal is, but maybe we were let down by the lack of steam. Anyway, time to see if this camera's still there. Oops. I have no idea where I left the camera along this river. I should have made a more visual reference of the point in the river it was at. I can see it down there, it's still there. It's not fallen over and it's not been stolen. Right, I'm gonna run and grab that back. It's actually a really lovely river. And back we go to the van. Let's see how they turned out. I'm not confident I've got any shots that I think are great and that I think are going to be amazing, because the lack of steam, I think, has let me down. But I'll see if there's any nice angles. Might be something to do again in the future, but we can only wait and see. You can hear the ScotRail going across now. Now, where are the girls at? Doesn't matter, I can see him. Right, I'll check out now. Hope you enjoyed this more focused photo video. I'll check back in a bit when I've imported and see what the photos are looking like. So it's been a couple of days and I've finally gotten around to editing this video, and I've gotten to the stage where I said I was going to check back in, and I didn't, so that's what this is. Imported all the images and they are okay. There's some nice angles in there for sure, especially the one down the river, I quite like that. But the lack of steam from the engine definitely takes something away for the photos, so unfortunately I probably won't do much with these beyond this video. I think the best thing for me would be to take these locations and take this as a lesson learned, go back and maybe shoot that again in the future when the conditions are right and the train gives us a full steam show. Still quite a nice little shoot to get out and do though. Enjoyed the concept of shooting on a tripod and then me going away and shooting elsewhere. Nice to talk through that process, and it was good to get out and try and find some new angles. It's always nice to keep your mind going on that stuff. Hope you enjoyed the video. I tried to make this a little more photo heavy because I'm aware the last few have been mountain based, so if you enjoyed this kind of video, let us know in the comments or send me a message or an email. Leave a like, subscribe if you aren't already. I'll catch you next week.